Hi there, how are you? Welcome to What the Flick. I am Christy Lemire, and that is Alonso and that is Matt Atchity. And it was a weekend. I took my kid to see Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2 did amazingly. We're going to talk about the box office about that in a minute. It broke like every record, like name a record, and Incredibles 2 broke it. But I went and took my kid to see Incredibles 2 over the weekend. He had not seen it. He enjoyed watching me cry during Bow. That was fun.
Nice.
You know what? It's funny. I know people flocked to see this, and my theater was totally jammed at 1:15 in the afternoon on a Saturday, but it wasn't like the energy of when I saw it the first time at the El Capitan. You know, like that. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just expectations. Everyone was sort of like just settled in, and they were appreciative and kind of quietly like, huh.
Was it like was it a midday screening?
1:15 in the afternoon. Totally packed showing at the Grove.
Interesting.
Maybe it's that post-lunch blood sugar tumble, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I thought kids would be like, I don't know, like there was an energy when we saw it, right?
There was an energy,
Yeah.
but you know that was the early morning screening. Is it when it was in advance? It was
We got in
all
for
media.
free.
Yeah.
But
Right.
you know, we're the first people to see it, and I think that you know if you'd gone to like a Friday night showing,
Yeah,
it
maybe.
probably would have been different. I can see, especially at the Grove, because it's the big outdoor mall. And it was a little cool.
It was weird.
Right? It was.
It's June gloom.
It's
I
a little
blame June gloom.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe people have had lunch, and like Alonso said, like just settling in.
I need to understand.
Also, but the other thing is going. You know, look, like this is the LA story for people who are listening. After you deal with the insane traffic and parking,
Right.
getting to the Grove,
Right. The parking
And
lot.
On a Saturday,
right.
oh God, yeah.
Then after you pay, you know, if you're bringing your kids and you paid $4,000 for tickets, you're like,
I have an even more LA story
Yes,
about my
please.
going to the movies
Yes,
this
please.
weekend. So we went to go see Tag on Saturday morning. It was the first screening was at like 9:20 at the AMC Century City. Well, when we pulled up, we saw that like we couldn't get into our normal parking entrance because the streets were blocked off and there were a lot of police people huddled around and we didn't know what was going on, but there were still entrances to the parking lot. You still could go into the mall. Turns out they were having an active shooter drill reenactment thing.
Wow.
Which, fine, I understand that's important for the police to do and it's valuable for if that kind of thing happens. But while the mall was technically closed, the Gelson's grocery store opens at 7 and the AMC theater opens at 9. So there were people there.
Right.
And there were a lot of families with small
Right.
children
For
there.
Incredibles
For
2.
Incredibles 2.
Right.
And next thing we know, like, we couldn't take the escalators up to the level where the theater was, like there was police tape, but we're standing there and there was sort of like a announcement that nobody could understand. And suddenly we hear like gunshots and screaming.
Wow.
And it was like, this is very disturbing. Like, you know, I felt bad for the parents with kids. Some of the people I was with were kind of
Were
wigged
people
out
freaked
about
out?
it.
Did they know? Was it clear to the kids and the parents like this is a drill?
I don't know.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we had to ask a bunch of people in red vests to figure out finally what was going on, but it just seemed like very bad planning. Like I understand these are valuable to do, but maybe like don't open the theater until
annoying.
10 that day, or do something where there's not civilians in the mall being freaked out by what I mean. Like if you were a survivor of a shooting like that, that would have been literally a triggering event.
Yeah,
the
sure.
cynical side of me says that when you're doing a drill like that with the active shooter and it's a movie, you know, it's the morning where people have taken a bunch of their kids to go to the movies. How many of the kids are like, yeah, mom, dad, we do this at school?
That's
do this
well,
at school.
that was I
That's
thought
true.
about that too. It's like
Yes.
God, like these kids don't already get this everywhere they go now. You know, you saw that thing on Twitter, the little poem on the wall about like
Yes.
lock the door and hide away. Like it was terrifying. They had turned it into this sort of like mnemonic rhyme for what to do during a shootout
Scary.
lockdown. It's just these are the times we live in.
Anyway, but in happier times, there's The Incredibles 2 as your escape from reality, superheroes causing destruction in a fun, cartoonish way. So The Incredibles 2 broke all these records. It
Yes.
is your biggest animated opening ever at 180 million, little over 180 million,
Yeah.
and it is your eighth biggest opening ever for like any movie, the biggest PG opening ever. And in a lot of countries, including Mexico and Russia, it was your biggest Pixar opening ever.
Largest opening day ever for an animated title, and second largest June opening behind the first Jurassic World.
Right. So people definitely went
Yeah.
and saw it. And I would expect that even though you've got a big movie coming out this weekend in the Jurassic World sequel, not everyone can go and see that. it is really violent, right? So like little 5-year-old kids, like the whole family cannot go see Jurassic World, but the whole family can go see Incredibles 2. So I would expect that it would still have a pretty solid second weekend.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would imagine, yeah. I don't see this doing a big tumble in it by any means, but obviously Jurassic World will take a bite out of all this. So we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, the aforementioned Tag came in third, which it was. Obviously, they were going for counter programming. It's an R-rated comedy. I liked it. We'll talk about it later this week, but I thought it was very funny.
I need to go see it, and I look forward to it. Yeah, Tag made $14.6 million from about 3,400 theaters.
Ocean's 8 came in second with 19.5, a 53% drop, which is about average for a second weekend.
Solo was number 4 with only 9.1 million.
Yay.
Solo keeps dropping.
Right. Superfly didn't do that great.
Superfly did not do well.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
But you know what it did better than?
Gotti.
Gotti.
You guys are so lovely about expressing to us what you're interested in seeing us talk about. You are. This is the fun of Twitter. Like, please go see Gotti and talk about it, and so we will.
Yes.
We're going to go see Gotti, and we're going to talk about it this week.
Because I never miss a film directed by Kevin What's-His-Face, you know.
E.
Yes.
When E from Entourage has a movie out, we got to go see it. Gotti has the ignominious distinction of having a 0% on the tomato meter, which is actually really tough to achieve.
True, yes.
It's like getting an F on Cinema Score, like a sort of a badge of honor, and it's like a battle cry. You've got to go see
it's like bidding 0 spades. It's hard to play that hand out to the end.
Yeah, so we will go see Tag and we will go see Gotti. Yeah, Superfly it came out on a Wednesday. It made $8.4 million in its 5-day debut to come in at number 7. But it only cost $16 million to produce.
Yeah, I hope as Dave was saying, I wanted to do better so we can get Superfly TNT.
So here's the fun thing about Gotti. Gotti did what, like 1.6 million?
7, yeah.
From only 500 theaters, though. It wasn't
Here's
wide.
the best part. Something like 40% of it came from MoviePass.
Well, MoviePass was a co-releaser, right?
But 40% of those tickets were people who hadn't really bothered to pay for it.
I see.
40% of that audience, it's like, yeah, okay, sure.
I'll see it for nothing.
Yeah, what the hell?
Okay.
And Won't You Be My Neighbor is turning out to be quite a juggernaut. It had a per theater on its second weekend, a per screen average of over $10,000. So that's pretty great. And it's gonna expand to 300 more theaters this weekend. So if it's not near you now, it might be this week.
How did Hereditary do? It came in 6. It did better than Gotti. It did better than Superfly.
I think here's the key thing for Hereditary. It dropped 48%, which means the word of mouth wasn't that bad. No, I'm serious.
There's your marketing campaign.
I'm serious because, you look at movies where it's very much a pattern where, especially for horror movies, they'll have a big opening weekend, and if people don't like them, like that, what was that terrible exorcism one that doesn't even end? It tells you to go to the website. It was one of those terrible January movies. Yeah, literally. That one dropped like 77% in the second weekend. So for Hereditary to drop less than 50% from weekend to weekend, that means that, D plus Cinema Score or not, it didn't get entirely murderous word of mouth.
Right. I think if people who are sort of like prone to see a Hereditary will see
a Hereditary,
and if they're not, they won't. But yeah, as we said earlier, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom comes out this weekend, which will just stomp on everything and obliterate everything. So we will have a review of that for you. We will play catch up with Tag. We'll play catch up with Gotti and other stuff. Damsel. Another Robert Pattinson movie.